from what Laura likes. So yes, I'm wearing the same thing because it is still Monday and I am filming my second video because this is how I roll sometimes in order to knock these things out. So I could change my clothes, but I'm just gonna be real with you and we're just gonna go. So today is chapter 6 of the Handbook for Catholic Moms, and this chapter is all about single motherhood. Now before I go on, remember this is a collab with other YouTubers. Make sure you check out their videos, they'll be linked there below. Single motherhood, I mean I'm married, I'm happily married, so what in the world? But you know what? I'm a military wife, and my husband not only, goes on training and leaves for a couple weeks at a time or a month at a time, so I have spatterings of single motherhood, but he also was gone for the entire year of 2015. A lot of what's in this book is very true, and so I'm just gonna go through some of the things that she talks about and give my own little spin on things. So this is really a video for if you are a military spouse, heads up, watch this video, because I do have some tips, and some of them are in this book and some of them are just from my own head. That's my first tip is, take advantage of when family's in town by making, get your hair cut, go to that doctor appointment you needed to go to, schedule things when you do have family in town so that you can kind of knock off some of those appointments that you don't want to take your kids to, or schedule a spa day. God knows we all need one of those. When you know your husband is going to be leaving, please make sure you know at least a couple ladies on base. Get to know ladies at your church, join a group, make friends with your neighbors, at least be on their Facebooks. She talks about the fear we can have when our husbands are gone, and if something were to happen to us, there might not be anyone to tell you. So when you are facing single motherhood, either whether it's temporary or for real, you have to really start thinking through safety concerns that maybe your husband would have handled. So if you live in a place, I live in a place where we have tornadoes sometimes, before my husband leaves, I wanna make sure it's all stocked. Because it's easy to rely on our husbands for taking care of some of these safety things, or just kind of making us feel that sense of calm. And when he's gone, the only way you're going to feel a sense of calm and preparedness is by being prepared, being almost over prepared. One advice that I always tell women is come up with something for you. Whether that means joining a direct sales business, whether that means getting into shape, whether that means getting into nutrition, finishing your degree, because sometimes the Army will pay for you to finish your degree or to get a certificate if there's something else you want to go to school for. I know that when my husband was deployed, I joined Perfectly Posh, which was an experience, and I met friends that way. One of my good friends I met through my Perfectly Posh business, and we ended up hanging out all summer. Doing those things for yourself and finding those outside activities are really important. And honestly, a lot of people didn't understand why I was joining Perfectly Posh and what I was doing with the sales thing, and that's okay because their husbands weren't deployed and they didn't need to understand. But I understood, and a lot of spouses do something. And she does talk about the sin of pride in here. And I think that all moms go through this, but I think that single moms or spouses or moms that are going through a single-ish type situation can fall into this, where we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to inconvenience people. We don't want to let people know that we're hurting, because that means we're vulnerable, and especially as an Army wife, we're supposed to be really strong. We're human, and we all fail, and we all need help from other people. So, on the flip side, if you do know someone who is struggling with single motherhood, whether temporary or permanent, make sure you offer your help, and just know that if they say no, respect that, because maybe they don't need it at this moment, but just make sure you're offering it, and make sure you connect with them. It's nice to just know that people are thinking about you when you're going through something. Definitely don't neglect your exercise and your nutrition. You have complete control of the kitchen. So if you want to make the house gluten-free, because that's what you want to see what it looks like to do that with your kids, you can do it. Make sure that you're respecting your husband, because with the deployment, he's gonna come back at some point, hopefully, God willing, and you didn't want him to come in home and you guys are all eating wheatgrass. The last thing I want to say, that is really probably the first thing I should have said, was that you must keep God at the center of everything. When Ryan first left, I was praying a lot and I felt really good. And then I got into Beachbody and I was putting prayer, I was going days without reading the Bible. and doing any kind of like biblical study or furthering my faith because I was busy like working out, and I don't know, I just felt like I didn't have enough time. And I remember my mother-in-law called me one day and I was really upset with Ryan about like, I don't know. And my mother-in-law was like, look, are you looking to Ryan to fulfill things that only God can fulfill? Because, you know, Ryan's, you know, somewhere else right now, and you can't really expect much from him, and you need to be looking to God to fulfill those. And I didn't understand what she meant at the time. It's very true. And you can get there with Jesus, you guys. Like, everyone's like, you know, do you have a personal relationship with Jesus? And it was like, what does that mean? No, he's Jesus, it's God, you know, they're out there. But like, I don't feel like he's sitting next to me, holding my hand or comforting me. Well, now I do. Okay, so like, you guys can get there. 9 months ago, I was not there. And I was telling my husband this the other day, like, I got to where I am right now in the last 9 months when I very first turned on Catholic radio in Eugene, Oregon, and my life was forever changed. I just think that your relationship with Jesus is really important, and if you can kind of do some work before your husband leaves to really foster that growth so that you don't feel alone, I think that's fabulous. And if you want to read a book, do it. If you want to spend time with the rosary every day, do it. You know, there's so many ways to be close to Jesus. There's so many ways to explore our faith. I just don't think you can ever underestimate your faith, especially in times like this, when you're feeling alone, because there's moments where the devil will tell you, you can't do this. Ask the Holy Spirit for help. Ask the guardian angel for help. Now that I've been praying to the guardian angel more, I feel like a lot more sense of peace, because I really do believe that my guardian angel is here, especially when I call on him or her. And last but not least, when it comes to parenting, do not take secular advice. The only person that I really take parenting advice from now is Dr. Ray. And someone mentions that in this book, which I thought was awesome, because I've talked about Dr. Ray before. He has a show called The Doctor's Inn that is fabulous. He has books that are just wonderful. And I think that when you're a single mom, you can get kind of every single thing is up to you. Discipline, every single decision's up to you. My husband and I are actually going to make a video on deployment do's and don'ts, hopefully fairly soon, because I just think it'd be a fun video to do. We went through a whole year, and we definitely, at least I screwed up a little bit. So you guys, I probably could talk on and on and on about deployments. So if you have a specific question about how I got through a problem during deployment, or if I have any extra advice about a specific situation, please let me know. I really do have a heart for other military spouses, and it's struggling, and I'm still struggling with it as well, obviously, because I'm like in it. So I just hope that this video was helpful and that you got some ideas out of it. And so anyway, this is Laura from What Laura Likes. That was chapter 6 of the Catholic Moms book, and we will talk again soon. Until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.